If you want it, you will find time in your life to do it. If you don't want it, you will continue to do exactly what you're doing now, is give me excuses. You're gonna make up every excuse on why you can't do it, and that's why I can't connect with you. That's why you hear the passion come out of me, and you wanna say it's anger. No, because I know it can be done. And you're telling me all this shit on why it can't be done. And then what you do is, he's crazy, he's in a category. No, you don't want it bad enough. If you want it bad enough, you will figure out how to make this shit happen.
6:33 a.m. This is a recap of some of the past few weeks, all the way up to March 16th, which is day 45 of my 90-day diet. This is the halfway point. I have an upper body comparison to show you guys later in this video, as well as running data and lifting data. Of course, also an update of my scale weight, demonstrating the power of the whole food plant-based diet. To start off, I'll show you how my running schedule has gone the past few weeks. Week 1, 7 kilometers. Week 2, 14. Week 3, back down to 9 kilometers. There were some distractions that week. In week 4, I did 28 kilometers. Week 5, 35. And week 6, 42 kilometers. One of the reasons I decided to make running kilometers incremental as the weeks progress is because as my fat mass decreases, I will be burning less calories because of moving around less body weight. So part of this is to counter this reduction in basal metabolic rate. As I increase physical activity slightly week to week, it results in me actually being able to eat more food in the last few weeks of the diet, which is always nice and a worthwhile effort for me. I can't stress how important it is to at least lift some weights, and especially while dieting. The literature shows lifting weights is an effective means of keeping muscle mass while in a caloric deficit, and consuming carbs is equally important in this regard. Carbs are muscle sparing, and provide proper energy levels so you have the energy to exercise. This is why I consume carbs the most out of any nutrient. Dieters are often afraid of carbs, but there are zero issues, in fact, when your carbs come from whole foods, that is. So, what has been happening with my lifts? Well, in my last video, most of you saw my deadlift increased, while bench press stagnated. The bench press stagnated again in week 3, but I felt energetic, so I decided to increase volume by adding a 3rd set to my exercises. And yes, that little bit of extra volume was what I needed to trigger an adaptation, because in week 4, my bench press increased to 180 pounds. In week 5, I stagnated again, and then added a 4th set to the following workout. And in week 6, my bench press increased to 185 pounds. The deadlift in my last update video was 280 pounds. However, since then, it increased in week 4 to 285, then in week 5 to 290, and in week 6, 295. Geez, I'm going to be at 300 soon. I suppose there would be some degree of transfer between my deadlift weight increasing and my body weight decreasing. But in regards to bench press, the gains must be predominantly strength-based, because my arms are the only part of my body being lifted with the weight in the exercise. Personally, I am always trying to use the least amount of stimulation to trigger an adaptation, and mostly because I don't want to spend that much time lifting weights. Not only have my lifts increased, but my body fat has steadily been declining. In week 1, I was 201.5 pounds. On day 45, the scale tells a story fitting of the halfway point of my whole food plant-based diet. 183.5 pounds. That's 18 pounds of weight loss in 45 days while my strength was increasing. And here's a snapshot of progress from my day 1 up until now, which is day 45. But as you can see, I've made some pretty good progress. A lot of the extra chub has disappeared, getting some slight ab definition, and I believe I'm on schedule to be fairly ripped by day 90. So stay tuned, guys. Like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.